late Thursday night, the U.S. launched over 50 missiles at a Syrian airfield thought to be the source of a gas attack that killed nearly 100 people and injured upwards of 400 on Tuesday. The Turkish Health Ministry reports that sarin gas, a banned nerve agent, was one of the weapons that hit a hospital in a rebel-controlled area of Syria. Oddly enough, the missiles were launched 100 years to the day that the U.S. entered World War I, with many people taking to social media and calling the strike the start of World War III. Certainly, Trump called on all civilized nations to join forces with the U.S. to help end the bloodshed in Syria, even though missile strikes do have a tendency to create some bloodshed. Funny how that works. Earlier in the day, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson told reporters that the U.S. was certain that the Syrian government was behind the attack, and Nikki Haley, the U.S. ambassador to the UN, gave a speech at the UN Security Council on Wednesday stating that if the UN didn't act, the U.S. would be compelled to take our own action, which after a Thursday night seems to have been putting it lightly. Earlier in the week, Trump was quoted as saying, quote, "Something should happen because Assad is there and I guess he's running things?" Apparently, bombing hospitals is only okay when Obama does it. Despite a 2013 tweet from Trump saying that the U.S. should stay out of Syria and that bombings require congressional approval, no approval was sought, much to the ire of Rand Paul, who is now demanding a full review of the evidence linking the gas attack to the Syrian government. The theory that the attack was a false flag has been rampant on social media. Given Russia's relationship with Syria and Haley telling the UN that Russia's responsible for the attack through guilt by association, things are not looking good. Additionally, early reports said that Russia was informed of the strike ahead of time, but that might not exactly be how it worked. In fact, it wasn't done at the head of state level at all, and Putin was not informed directly. Putin has called the strike a violation of international law and the US's own policies, which he apparently knows better than Trump. The Russian Prime Minister says the strike has completely ruined relations between the US and Russia, but he also said it on Facebook, so take that with a grain of salt. On Friday, US defense officials reported that a Russian warship was headed towards the two ships that fired the missiles, but Fox News correspondents assured the public that it is no cause for alarm. Meanwhile, several of the big news media outlets are saying that only now is Trump a real president because bombs. But enough about that. Let's talk Spygate. The issue of incidental surveillance, Devin Nunes, and this whole unmasking story got a little deeper this week with the explosive news that Obama's national security advisor, Susan Rice, was the official that requested Donald Trump and his posse be unmasked. And she wasn't even caught in any devious or dastardly way. The reports are kept locked up so tightly that people need special security clearances and need to log their names before accessing them. And, well, Susan Rice signed herself in. A lot! Like, her name was all over that crap. And she would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for that meddling Nunes. And Ezra Cohen Watnick figured it out, but it doesn't have as nice of a ring, and the moment's gone. So why is this such a big deal? Well, besides the fact that the names of Americans accidentally picked up in surveillance of foreign parties are supposed to be kept super confidential, Rice is already seeking legal counsel, which means it's going to be a blame game up the chain of command, and well, we all remember who was at the top of the chain of command. Additionally, John Brennan of the CIA and then Attorney General Loretta Lynch of secret Clinton meeting fame were the other top two officials Obama granted his special clearance to. Susan Rice went on MSNBC this week to deny the unmasking and claimed that the intelligence reports that Obama aides frequently reviewed were, quote, absolutely not for any political purposes to spy, expose, or anything. Yeah, okay. When asked if she was also the one who leaked Michael Flynn's name and his conversations with the Russian ambassador, Rice got notably agitated and claimed, quote, I leaked nothing to nobody. So this would probably be a good time to mention all the spreadsheets she ordered US spy agencies to produce on Trump and his aides starting a full year before the election. One member of the House Intelligence Committee even said the reports were so detailed they resembled files from private investigators. Oh, and all those spreadsheets were also given to the National Security Council, the Department of Defense, former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, and Obama's CIA Director John Brennan. That doesn't look suspicious at all. Supposedly, the New York Times already had the Rice story at least 48 hours before Mike Cernovich broke it, but sat on it to try and protect Obama's reputation. So what else is going on in the world? The California legislature passed a huge tax bill that they're calling the Road Repair and Accountability Act. The act will add an additional 12 cents per gallon on all gas, 20 cents on diesel, and institute additional charges on annual license fees anywhere in the ballpark between $25 and $175. Now, 12 cents doesn't seem that bad, right? Except that that's on top of all of California's other gas tax, which sets the tax rate at 52 cents per gallon, which is the highest in the country. So if you have, say, a 14-gallon tank and you fill up every week, that's $7.28 of tax. Every week. That's $379 a year just on tax. And if you get stuck with the full license fee, that's over $550 just to renew your license and fill up your car. But apparently my math is on the conservative side because good old Governor Jerry Brown is predicting the bill will rake in $52 billion for transportation projects and road repairs. Now keep in mind, all the previous ridiculous gas taxes and registration fees were already supposed to go to the roads, but just like every other state in the country, that didn't happen. Brown tried to tell the Republicans that more tax now would mean less tax later, which we all know is a load of crap. When they were appropriately skeptical, he got all angsty and told the media that the Republicans expect the tooth fairy to foot the bill. Chicago was aiming to keep on changing the world one murder at a time by making it even harder for inner-city teenagers to graduate high school. Because who better to join the Bloods and Crips than teenagers who are left with little other career opportunities when they're denied their high school diplomas? Chicago Mayor Emanuel announced this week that even with a perfect set of straight A's, students won't get a diploma unless they provide the school with an acceptance letter from a college, trade school, or the military. He says it's a jobs program, but you have to ask if he's creating jobs for the kids or creating jobs for all the new administrators and paper pushers and teachers required by mandatory college. Last year, Chicago was boasting an improved graduation rate of 73%, and I'm willing to bet we're going to see that starting to tank. PETA took to Twitter last week to inform the world that milk is a symbol of white supremacy. They say the proof is in the prominent role of milk in the movie Get Out. That's it. There's no punchline to that one. Also, Russia has banned a meme of Putin as a gay clown. The meme joins 4,073 other banned materials. So make sure you don't share it, guys, because Putin is super straight and super serious. Germany has announced new plans for online censorship by holding social media companies, American social media companies at that, financially liable for anything deemed criminal or unsavory under German law. And we're not talking small change here. The German cabinet has approved fines of up to $50 million. Of course, with YouTube creators getting censored left and right, which I covered in another video this week, linked here and in the description, and Facebook and Twitter not being very far behind, Germany may never need to send a single bill. That concludes your Liberty-related news for the week. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to help me spread the message of liberty, you can also help me by supporting me on Patreon. Until next week, thanks for watching and helping me to keep the message of liberty live.